I've noticed something weird has been happening to me where I'm starting to socialize again, right? Where social distancing rules are lessening. I'm starting to see new people, and my socializing muscle has atrophied. It's like I've forgotten how to be a human and how to have a conversation. I've spent so many months at home that I forgot how to be outside of my home. And this made me realize that we're entering this really weird phase of post-pandemic friendships, of post-pandemic socializing. And I think we have to think of socializing like a muscle. So when we have specific parts of our brain that we use for socializing. For example, right behind our right ear, right here, is a part of our brain that we use for decoding faces. We also use a part of our brain called the fusiform facial area to decode faces. When we're out and about, or we're not socializing, or we're only looking at faces under masks, that muscle gets less use. That part of our brain gets less use. And so all of a sudden when we go back out to socialize, it's like that part of our brain has to wake back up. So I don't know if you've had this where you've been socializing recently and you're just not able to be as smooth as you once were. You feel a little bit more awkward than usual. You are not alone. So going back into socializing is like taking a break from the gym for a year and then trying to get back into it. If you took a break from any kind of activity for an entire year, going back to the gym or trying to run an Ironman would be impossible. I want you to think of socializing the same way. So we have to slowly rebuild those muscles. You wouldn't expect if you took a year off from any kind of activity to immediately be able to go run a marathon. The same thing happens with socializing. I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to be gentle to yourself. I'm gonna tell you you're doing a great job because you're even watching this video, which means you're gonna try. Here's what we have to think about. Not only do we have to slowly re-engage the socializing muscle, we also have to do it right. I read a really interesting piece that talked about post-pandemic friendship, and that the pandemic has wiped out entire categories of friendship. What I mean by this is I used to have a lot of casual friends of friends, people who I'd see at holiday parties or work parties who I wasn't directly friends with, but we always caught up. No more. I also had location-based friends, right? I had friends that I saw at the gym, friends that I saw at the coffee shop. We had friends in our neighborhood. Well, I haven't seen them anymore, so I'm not friends with them anymore. Most people think about this as a bad thing, that we've lost a lot of our relationships. But I have a little bit of silver lining, which is this gives us an opportunity for a friendship fresh start. There's something really powerful in psychology called the fresh start effect. The fresh start effect is that researchers analyzed thousands and thousands of people's goals, and they found that people were more likely not only to set goals on certain days, but actually better at achieving those goals when they started on a Monday, because a Monday is typically a fresh start to a week, at New Year's, because that's a fresh start to the year, at the beginning of a month, because that's the first start of a month, or at a birthday. So right now, as you begin to re-enter the world, I want you to think of it a little bit like a fresh start, a little bit like a blank slate. And with a blank slate, with a fresh start, it means you're more motivated. It means you have choice to choose how do you want to fill in this blank slate. So I want to do a little activity with you. And this is as you begin to think about your friendships for the next few weeks, months, and years, I want you to think about who you want to have in your life. So if you can right now, pull out a pen and paper, okay? And I want you to draw 3 columns. In the very first column, I want you to write at the top, who. When you think about the next few weeks and months and years, who do you want to spend time with? Who do you want to have in your life? Who do you want to call a friend? I only want you to put people on here who you look forward to interacting with. No more default friendships. You know, default friendships? Default friendships are those people that you're friends with just because you've always been friends, or because you live in the same building, or because you haven't thought about it and you just are. I want you to have purposeful friendships. So no more default friends, no more toxic friends. Friends. We got to get rid of those toxic friendships. Okay, so none of those toxic friendships, those ambivalent friendships, those friends who doubt you, those friends who tear you down, no more. We just survived a pandemic. We shouldn't have to survive toxic friendships anymore. So only the people you want to have in your life. Now, if you look at that column and it seems a little sparse, You're not sure if you know those people. I want you to put types of people. So if you don't have enough people in that column, people you're like, I want to meet more people in my line of work. I want to meet my soulmate. I want to meet people who keep me accountable. I want to make a hiking buddy friend. You can also put those categories in that list. So hiking buddy, accountability partner, mastermind friend. So I want you to put also categories of people. Spend a little time if you want to, you can pause this video and fill that out for who you see in your life. The second column, I want you to put where. As we begin to get back into our friendships, we have to set ourselves up for success. So one thing that I realize is that I am not my best self on a Friday night. Whew. After a long work week, all I want to do is sit on my couch and watch some brainless TV. That's all I want to do. So when I would set up double dates on a Friday night or going out on a Friday night, I was completely drained. Especially as we go back into socializing, that's like running a marathon for your social muscle. So I want you to think about what are the times and the places that you want to interact that set you up for success. So for example, I know that I love to go on hike and talks. So this is inviting a friend to go on a little hike or a little walk with me. That's a win-win, and that's an easy where. I love to go hiking with friends. Or I love to have business strategy sessions with friends. So for me, that's at my favorite little local coffee shop. They have tons of big open tables, the best coffee and tea in the world. That for me is setting me up for success. It's quiet, so it's easy to make conversation. The food and drink is delicious, so I'm hydrated and caffeinated, which is always good for socializing. And there's a little bit of an agenda, right? I can say to someone, hey, let's check in on our business goals. Let's mastermind together. And you know I love masterminds. So when you think about where, when you think about socializing or setting yourself up for success, what's your training ground? Your equivalent of just dipping your toe back into the gym. I don't know if that's the right place. That's dipping your toe into the pool of socializing. Oof. That was a good metaphor. Dipping your toe into the pool of socializing or doing a warm-up at the gym. Oh, I love metaphors, love social metaphors. So just like easing yourself back in. Don't run a marathon, right? The worst thing you can do when you're starting to socialize for the first time is sign yourself up for a conference with 500 networkers wearing masks. Could you imagine trying to do that now after I haven't networked in over a year, trying to do it through masks in a really loud room? No, that's a marathon. I'm not ready. So I want you to think about what you're ready for, what kind of socializing you want to purposefully bring back into your life. Okay, so finish that column out. And the very last column is why. I think it's really important that we get down to what fuels you about socializing. I don't know about you, but if I have a bad social experience or I'm just overly tired, I forget my why. And it's to connect to other human beings. It's to hear and learn from them. It's to share experiences. It's to laugh together. So in this very last column, it's probably your shortest. I want you to make a list of at least 3 reasons why you want to bring these people back into your life. What do you want to feel? What are you looking for? Is it to get accountability? Is it to get camaraderie? Is it to play more? Is it to laugh more? Is it to explore new things together? Is it to meet your soulmate? What's your why? I think we have this amazing opportunity for a friendship fresh start as we enter this new post-pandemic world, socializing a little bit more purposefully. And if you're like me and your social muscle has atrophied, you are not alone. You can forget how to socialize. I am here for you. I'm going to make sure I put out lots of content and lots of videos to help you retrain that muscle. I'm going to be your personal trainer for that social muscle, and we're going to work it out together so you are ready for that social marathon if and when you decide to run it. Oh God, that metaphor was so good. I didn't even write that.
Are you living up to your full potential? Do you want more? I would love to help you. Get started with my free training and learn more about People School today. Visit scienceofpeople.com/pschool.
That was a great video, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Give it a like if you like it. Write in the comments if you're brave enough your 3 columns so I can see what your answers are. And I'll see you in our next video.